Sweet. And we're live. And we are live. Welcome, everyone, to the fifth or sixth FLIP Fortnightly Wrap. I actually don't remember at this stage. It is the fifth. Nice.
Pointing it out there.
The fifth Fortnightly Wrap. I got two special guests today, and we also doing this from a very special location in Berlin, the Web3 Hub. Great place. Bunch of builders here working hard. I'll let Carlo talk a little bit more, but yeah, let's get into the introductions and get going. Irina, take it away. Tell us who you are and what you do.
Thank you, Sean. Hi, everybody. I'm Irena. I'm the ecosystem manager with FLIP. I have been with the team what feels like over a year, although a little bit less actually. And I've been in the industry for over 2.5 years, worked on infrastructure and DeFi projects before finding a perfect combination between those two with FLIP. And we have a lot to discuss today because I've just got back from my tour around Asia, around Korea, around Singapore and Thailand. And today, we're also joined by another person who joined me partly on this tour, Carlo, and I'll pass the mic to you to introduce yourself.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm super excited to be here with you on that fortnightly wrap and to, in general, strengthen our boundaries with FLIP and Super Team. So talking about Super Team, what I'm doing is community and events lead for Super Team Germany. We are kind of the talent layer for the Solana ecosystem here. So we help builders, developers, all the cool people who are doing stuff in the ecosystem. We help them to succeed with their projects, to build their own little startup on chain. And yeah, we host mainly hackathons. What we're also doing right now is like the Build Station Berlin, which is a this time actually 2 weeks long in real life hackathon for the Solana Radar hackathon. So we support the people here in person with all the resources, with everything they need basically to, just start their first hackathon journey. And yeah, it's super exciting that FLIP is also now live with Solana. So that's why we thought we have things to celebrate and do things together.
Exactly. It's kind of crazy to think when we started the whole journey of exploring Solana, realizing that it's just, it's not just another chain, it's a whole ecosystem and community. And we have offices here in Berlin, but we've never really ventured too far out of our own little circle. And, getting in touch with Carlo and exploring, what the Solana ecosystem has to offer has been pretty amazing. Coming to these hackathons and coming into the space and seeing people work for Solana. Like there's a strong community of builders. So yeah, super cool. Yeah. And so vibey too. It's such a good vibe, I think that's the biggest thing. Like a lot of people say, yeah, you need more builders, but Solana actually has builders that want to be building.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, I think the vibes are one essential key in our ecosystem and community, what keeps thriving us, and our members really appreciate that we're always giving them so many opportunities.
Yeah, proof of vibes. Exactly. I guess that leads into maybe a little bit about FLIP and where we're at now. Yeah, as you all know, if you've been living under a rock, maybe not, but we are live on Solana. You can now do native Bitcoin to Solana swaps seamlessly. So yeah, give it a go, give it a try. We'll post some of the links down below and you guys can just take advantage of that, but give it a go, try it out. It's really a huge unlock for the ecosystems and it's the first project to do so. So yeah. I guess that leads into what I'm more interested here is what's been happening these last couple months with the conferences. I mean, Solana, Breakpoint, but there's also been a bunch of others. Let's dive straight into that, really. I actually want to know who wants to go first, who wants to talk about either one. Maybe, sure. Yeah?
Fine. Oh, somebody. It has been a minute. For me, it all started in Seoul with Korea Blockchain Week, and then followed by Singapore, where it was both token and Breakpoint. And I did not really know what to expect. It was my first time in Asia. However, it was a very clear mission for me personally, well, not personally, but for Chainflip, is to get to know properly Solana ecosystem, because one thing is when you have a concept about it and spending time with super team, it gives you a very good picture, but actually meeting a lot of projects that build there and to get to know them is completely invaluable once done in person. Speaking of Korea Blockchain Week, the highlight for me was the combination of very good conversations and very interesting people in a more, wouldn't say intimate setting, but it was less events, it was more quality conversations. And Korea was just fascinating, honestly, with Seoul being this epicenter of people who love crypto. But it's very interesting because in Korea, as a lot of people who've been there, they realize that it's very trading focused, because there are not that many projects which come out of Korea, but 1/5 of the population, which is almost 10 million people, trade.
Jeepers.
It's pretty crazy. And also because of the regulations, it's mostly local centralized exchanges which held majority of the trading volume. And there is a lot of fascination towards token launches and a little bit of gambling, but it's also very helpful with infrastructure, amazing internet, and the society is very, very tech savvy, and they're very homogeneous. So they once one person jumps on the trend, everybody needs to be in that trend, which is very helpful. And it depends. It's not clear whether regulations are going to change or not, but it's definitely going to be huge change and huge market for institutions if it would ever open up. And to be honest, from being there and talking to people and talking to local people, they're also very open to welcome outside world builders, investors to it as well. And just from the overview, it was very interesting. It was definitely Barachain, Monad, and Solana takeover for sure. Ton made it presence as well. And without getting too much into the details, maybe Bitcoin side chains.
Oh god.
But we're not talking about it here today. We're talking more about Solana. This is the more important part. Carl, question to you: have you been to Korea before? Was it your first time in Asia as well?
I haven't been to Korea at all, unfortunately. I've only been to Bangkok for a few days and then Singapore for Breakpoint. But yeah, in general, like my favorite two conferences, or the recent ones I've attended, have been like in Munich, the TUM blockchain conference, which I want to touch also a little bit base on, because that's actually a super cool local initiative for us here in Germany, and it's a whole student organized conference. So just a team of like the TUM blockchain club, which is like a student organized blockchain team. They're focused to onboard students and help them in their journey. And they organized for the second time now, if I'm not wrong, a whole big ass conference, which was pretty good structured and really cool from the organization. So this was amazing. And then from there we went directly to Asia. And yeah, it's been the first time in Asia, so it was anyways already like in a good way overwhelming from all the experiences and all the influences you get. But then also having such a successful Breakpoint conference, I think that's what we can both agree also on. Like in Singapore, things were like definitely, I would say, all-time high for what I've seen right now in terms of vibes. I'm pretty sure it's not the all-time high yet, but just talking about how good the conference was structured compared also to last year, how many people attended, how good the energy was in the room. Like it was very professional, very cool side events. I've missed Token this time, unfortunately, in Singapore. But I can compare it a little bit to what I've seen from Token in Dubai, and it's a whole different vibe. Like it felt like a very tight-knit ecosystem, a lot of builders, a lot of other cool people who are doing cool stuff. And what I really appreciate is that the people don't really try to sell you things, which is more the thing at Token. So yeah, I just love to have a cool network and flowing conversation without just getting everything on the plate and getting convinced to buy anything or to use any products the whole time. So that was very very nice for me.
I went to Token in Dubai, and it definitely felt like, I mean, the market was different, the times are different, but it definitely, I think, attracted a different crowd than what I was used to for like some of the other conferences that I went to. But yeah, I guess what I want to know from my side is more about Breakpoint, to be honest. Like, I've really loved how Solana Foundation has kind of taken Breakpoint in this new direction, the way that they marketed it and like focused it very differently to how Token was. Yeah, maybe you could touch on that a little bit and what you think the highlights from that change were.
So yeah, what I really loved about Breakpoint also this year was something which was like something new and a highlight also, since I've never seen something like that at any conference. They basically broke down the whole idea of having like long keynotes and long talks and just made like 5-minute slots for every speaker, which was actually very refreshing because you could get really a lot of things in those 5 minutes, and it would break down the lane where people just get bored and sit in the audience and don't even know how to take all those information because it's just overwhelming. So those 5-minute talks were definitely a highlight. They are also all recorded, so whoever is interested can check them out also. I think there was a lot of like really big announcements at Breakpoint. To be honest, I've missed most of them and have to rewatch those because there was just so much going on. There were so many people I wanted to reconnect or newly connect with in the ecosystem, and it was just like a little bit overwhelming then to also get all the talks, but I got a few of the most important ones. Another thing which was pretty cool, also on the stage, basically, they took away the usual format of like a panel, and they made a debate. So people also, especially working in the same ecosystem, since it was heavily concentrated on Solana, had to disagree on certain points. So there was always like a side which has to agree, basically, and the other side has to disagree. And it was very cool, interactive, and nice to see basically how people have to bring up points they maybe actually wouldn't agree with, but to argue in that point of view. So this was a very interesting kind of form to have a more pro and contra related conversation and just get a bit more deep into some topics and have this debate style. So those were my highlights in terms of the talks. But yeah, then in general, like everything was very well organized. It was like what I, for example, where I had my issues last year, Breakpoint, although I loved the place, it was in Amsterdam last year, but it was a rainy week and the buildings were all separated. So you had to always run through the rain to get into another stage. This time it was very well organized, all in one building, very cool space and a lot of space. Like it was really big, but also like around 6,000 people there. So very full. A lot of cool activations by ecosystem people, like huge giveaways. Bonk, for example, did great activations. They had a Bonk fight tent. I had the chance to fight Henry.
Did you fight Henry?
I had to fight Henry, which was pretty cool. It was a very spontaneous decision because Henry was supposed to fight Chris.
Oh.
And Chris rocked us basically and stayed in bed because the party on the evening before was too good.
Does Henry have hands?
Henry has hands. I would say it was more or less a tie. Like it was a very equal fight. But since Henry is well known in the crowd, he might have won the crowd's voice, basically. But I wouldn't consider myself as a loser because I had a very good fight and gave Henry some good punches. So yeah, that was really funny. And then also like Soulflare, for example, did amazing giveaways. They gave away like Keystone wallets to a lot of people there. They did a after party huge giveaway where they had a QR code, and like everyone at the after party, where like thousands of people were around, could scan their QR code and everyone would win something. So they really gave back a lot of things to the ecosystem and to the people who support the ecosystem, and that's just super nice to see.
Yeah.
So those are my key points from Breakpoint, and the after party was extraordinary.
I like that. I think Solana is definitely moving in the right direction to actually engage more than just just doing like what's worked in the past, kind of hitting the head against the wall, being like, oh, let's do another conference or whatever. They're really trying to step outside the box and build a consumer friendly product, which is pretty cool.
I disagree.
You disagree? Oh, should we debate?
We have a debate here.
No, I more disagree on one specific point. I don't think Solana trying. I think they've already succeeded. Like it's really a no-brainer, and I think there were very similar sentiments. So no very hot takes yet. But Solana definitely have built the playbook for building nurturing community. I would highlight three things. One is you actually have very supportive and thorough funnel of how to onboard and support builders.
Sure.
The
Yeah, exactly.
the foundation of each chain. You also you have the hacker houses, which are well known globally. This is where the ideas are actually being born. Then, to my understanding, goes to super team, and you guys help them to support and being built further down the line. And then there is a very strong, very well thought infrastructure which helps to onboard people with various ideas, and it's built in a way that people can just pick different parts of it and start building products rather than trying to fix infrastructure, which happens a lot with Ethereum right now. And the third part, and that's what I've noticed through the narrative which Anatoly has been pushing for many years, it's outcome focused and it is very pragmatic. This ecosystem which helps people to come in, build businesses which actually could generate revenue. And this is very, very different. I've been to a lot of Ethereum focused conferences, and it's a great value to see a lot of ideas and what has been being built. But in it for 3 years is the same arguments and the same conversations over and over again, how to fix very complex infrastructure. There's no conversations about products. You don't see phones built on Ethereum right now, and Solana has done it. We can debate, and I think it's very worthy debate, which definitely has been happening a lot, whether people will care about decentralization in a long run. And it's not a very simple one, especially within Ethereum, especially with the L2s, especially how they monetize. But I like that Solana doesn't care. It just focuses on providing infrastructure to build business ideas and solutions.
Yeah.
And that was very visible, and it was very big aha moment for me. And just a little shield. That's the reason I'm very pumped that we'll be able to support that as chain flip.
I guess we all are pumped for that.
Yeah,
this
right.
is definitely great news. Yeah.
I listened to one of the talks that Anatoly, well, not one of the talks, one of the panels, well, not panels, the discussions that Anatoly was on, and debates. Yeah, one of the debates. And one of the things, touching on your point, in the debate, he got asked, like, obviously he's very aware of what's taking place on Solana, like, for example, the meme coin trading, etc., and how he feels about that. And his line was so brilliant. He said that with most types of technology out there that got developed, these types of things that take place are actually what people want to use and are using those products for, and it's generating revenue. And that revenue is then getting used to just build better things and more optimized things. Like the iPhone, for example, the biggest thing that people do on iPhones is play games.
Yeah.
And now we've developed this really complex product off of just, what? So people can just
Snake on Nokia.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think Solana's done like a good playbook there. It's like, yeah, sure, people can use it for what they want to do. If it makes money, we can use that to push other avenues,
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So bullish, I think.
We bullish.
Yeah.
And yeah, talking about that point also, like in terms of meme coins or like all this trading stuff, like as we are with Super Team not really focused on that, we still of course observe it. And similar to you, I would say it just helps in the long term the ecosystem, because some of the people there like maybe just launching now a meme coin, but if they want to build like a sustainable business in the long term, they will stick to Solana because they know like this is a place where everyone also can find a place, and where just a lot of things are working very easy, very cheap and fast. So
Yeah.
just adding on that point.
Yeah, the fast aspect's pretty cool. Like with our swaps, we've got a function called boost where you can boost your Bitcoin swaps to be faster
To Solana.
to Solana. And we've seen some swaps coming through which have been Bitcoin to Solana boosted that take like I think like 1 or 2 minutes from Bitcoin, which is so sick.
Yeah, this is really sick.
It's so cool. Yeah, so that's pretty sick. I think based on the time, I'm gonna look for some questions that the community potentially has.
But don't forget our favorite game.
Exactly.
Again.
And whilst I look for the questions, we're gonna be playing a little game called Fuck, Marry, Kill, Conference Edition. the two of you are gonna have to decide on 3 conferences that have taken place this year or that happened throughout the cycle, and which ones you're gonna fuck, marry, or kill. Let's start with you, Irina.
Thanks, Sean. Right. A little bit biased here because obviously we just came back from and it's a very tough one. I'm just gonna do very controversial take. Whatever. I'm doing it. I'd say fuck token because it's still very fun. Marry Solana Breakpoint because it's just immaculate vibe and something where you actually do want to stick around for a long term. And kill Ethereum conferences. It's just so boring.
Yeah, that's a good take. Actually, that's a really fun game. I've never played it, but now since I know I have to marry, I'm engaged with Solana Breakpoint. So this is also my winner here. I think for me, fuck will definitely be the Tom blockchain conference because it was just super cool to see like how many things like just a group of students, basically a students club, can pull off, and how successful they can also be. Like, I mean, of course, they got sponsors, they got support by like bigger ecosystems, but like from the whole planning and organizing a conference, also down in Munich where things are even more expensive than here in Berlin, and they picked a really good location, and it was just such a good vibe. So I'm definitely gonna fuck with Tom blockchain conference. And yeah, Mary is an obvious take here. It's gonna be Solana Breakpoint for me. And since I've been only on 2 other conferences this year, and one actually I pretty enjoyed as well, which was NFC Lisbon, I'm gonna have to kill Token because this was for me in Dubai, with the case also that everything was flooded and it was fucked up to get there. And then everyone, when I got there, just wanted to sell me things. I'm sorry. Token it's the biggest conference. It's the thing everyone wants to attend in the year, but for me, it's gonna be a kill this year. Yeah,
This is pretty good. It's a fun game.
it is a fun game for sure.
Brought back PTSD of Token in Dubai. Oh my god, I completely forgot about the floods.
It was insane.
I lost you guys for like 3 days.
It was really bad. Simon, myself, and Will were literally gone, and like you still managed.
No, because I still managed to go and BD. So I thought you guys just ditched me and went on the beach for this 3 days pretending you were flooded.
I got so sick afterwards from just being covered in water for so many days. We just came back from like an investor meeting and they were like, "Oh, yeah, we're going over there." And we're like, "Yeah, that's not happening." It was so bad.
I mean, yeah, I was going to those dinners and events with taking my shoes and my socks off and just stepping knees deep through the streets flooded with water. So it was really insane time.
Crazy. I think we met a project and Simon and myself, we really made a mission to get this project, and we arrived with like our shoes and socks off, and they were like in suits in this fancy hotel, and we're like, oh god. But they liked the gumption for that. Anyway, yeah, when squid? Good question, sir. Who gave that? Sorry, my eyesight is terrible. Mino, when squid? Hopefully soon. We are working very hard with them at the moment. You spent some time with Squid actually over the conference run. They're working hard.
I absolutely love Squid team. Absolutely. And yes, it's their first priority right now. As some of you folks know, they've launched their V2, and next is Chain Flip. So stay tuned, guys.
It's exciting. Yeah. So when DCA swaps, DCA and Squid. Okay, well, DCA is coming pretty soon. We've just launched Solana, so we kind of optimizing that for now. Product team is shipping like madmen at the moment to get DCA out. And this is probably going to be the game-changing feature in the next coming months. You know, Solana and DCA basically meaning much more efficient pricing. Then you get fast swaps using Boost. Swap Bitcoin to Solana swaps with excellent pricing and speed that is comparable to a centralized exchange. That's good onboarding right there. So it's coming soon in the next coming weeks. So stay tuned for that. Yeah. Let's wrap it up. Maybe actually we should talk a little bit more about like where we're at, like the Web3 hub and what's taking place today here, you know, because it's a very vibey event happening today. So it's a lot going on.
Yeah, sure. So W3 Hub, as I said already in the beginning, is, I would say, the place for everything Web3 related in Berlin. It's a huge community space. And the team basically has established here longer partnerships with ecosystems. A lot of teams have been sitting around here for quite some time. I know your team is too big to have an office in here after I saw your office, but Celestia team, for example, launched here. We've been with Solana and Super Team around here for like 2 years almost now. And yeah, it's just a great place to host events in Berlin, to meet other ecosystem people here and network. And today we have two things. I mean, we have currently the build station, which is ongoing for 2 weeks. I used that chance to chill it again. It's like basically for the Solana hackathon and real life co-working space. Everyone is welcome to come here to work on your hackathon projects, to co-work with us. And then there's today actually a very special event as well. There's a Circle developer workshop here. And Circle is organizing, I think, a pretty much like a Europe tour right now. Like they've been in Paris, they've been in Barcelona, today they're in Berlin. And yeah, they're traveling around helping developers to understand how to use Circle, not only as a stablecoin, but also like as a bigger economy long term. That's what they're working on. And the CEO, Jeremy Allaire, is also here today. So there's going to be like an AMA and a lot of place to ask questions. And yeah, I think it's going to be exciting. It's starting in 1 hour. So we're all getting ready pretty soon after this fortnightly wrap. And yeah, super cool to host several things here at W3 Hub to strengthen basically the local community in Berlin. And yeah, I think we definitely gonna have a good time. And yeah, there's always things happening here, so you can check out their socials from W3 Hub, but also Super Team, because we are mainly hosting things here. We're also gonna probably host something together with you guys here somewhere in the future. And yeah,
Stay tuned.
yes,
Stay
tuned. Oh, there's a question about volume as well in the chat.
Too late. We're done.
I love those questions.
No one asks why. Just
Yeah,
when.
No one asks how is
It's for the
chain
culture.
flip.
Yeah, how is chain flip? You know, that's a question I'd love to see. Anyway, folks, thanks for tuning in. We'll send some pictures from W3 Hub of the Circle event and a little bit more about everything. We'll drop some links in. But yeah, as always, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
And thanks so much for joining,
Thank you
folks.
guys. It
Yeah.
was a pleasure.
Yeah,
It was awesome. Thank you.
it's fun, right?
Yes.